Hi there.
Hi.
Good
Hello.
evening. Welcome to Luna. Ah, there she is. And the
I
druid.
knew it. There. Wait.
And tonight,
Next
yeah.
to me. I
uh,
always mess up the direction.
Misdirection, but now, now I have it.
Oh
But
well. But sometimes in life we have to take the other side
yeah,
to
that's
explore and discover something new.
yeah, because
Hello,
otherwise
hello.
everything else is mirrored. So that's that's how we have to live here in a mirrored world. And as you can see above me, on this side, the lettering of my Golden Dawn book is good. So that's my way of looking if everything's fine and correct. And tonight we're going to look
Great.
forward to a big event tomorrow. Tomorrow
Mhm.
night the moon will be 100% full around midnight.
Yes, tomorrow, a full moon in Scorpio, around, as just like Jan said, around 1 a.m. in Ireland. If you're in a different country, you can check your time and why it is important, why the time of full moon is so important, because it highlights whatever needs to be seen in our life. And with the full moon in Scorpio, just let's think of this nature of the Scorpio first. It's a deep nature. It's a very secretive nature. It's a very emotional area, an emotional space goes. The Scorpio belongs to the element of water. So this full moon will highlight everything, what's connected to Scorpio and its nature. So we'll definitely talk about that. I will share two rituals I am doing around the full moon, which you can do tonight or tomorrow or even after tomorrow, because the energy of the full moon, it's not just exact time of happening. It's also a day before and day after, so feel free to adapt it to how it works for you. What else is on the agenda tonight?
Yeah, we're going to look at the cards that are related to Scorpio. I have
Mm,
prepared something there. We're gonna, yeah, you're gonna show us a bit of a ritual, Luna, and of course, it wouldn't be Luna the Druid if we just pull some random cards from the tarot and the oracle decks tonight.
yes, yes.
Looking
So
forward to it. Looking forward
let's
to it.
dive deep into it.
Let's dive into it. Yeah.
As for nature of Scorpio. So I touched already a little bit on the full moon in Scorpio, but let's talk about why is it so important. As I mentioned, the nature of the Scorpio is very emotional, and let's start with there, and then we will unwrap it and go further within the Scorpio's nature. Scorpio is the element of water. Um, as I said, that's emotions. With the nature of Scorpio being hidden and being dive deep within, Scorpio loves mystery. So with this full moon, what you can find is some secrets coming to a surface, things you didn't know, you didn't realize about, or things about yourself or about others. And it's a very intense and interesting times of things being brought to the surface, things being seen from a different angle. And I can myself relate to it with the last couple of days, actually having conversations with people and with friends. I can see how sometimes deep emotions come already to the surface, and they need to be seen, they need to be discussed. There is that need of creating a space for them. And it's so important to allow those emotions to surface.
Yes, and yeah, and so you talk about the mystery of the Scorpio. Um, so in essentially, the Scorpio is not itself bringing things to light. The Scorpio is more or less closed off a little, doesn't Although most Scorpios I know are very honest and truth-loving people, and I know a few, and honest and truth-loving people, but there are still people who have like, yeah, who very well know their shadow parts as well.
Mm, yes, and shadow part is another very important aspect of Scorpio as well. To me, when I think of Scorpio, I think of a subconscious where everything's being registered and everything's being stored, and that's Scorpio's nature. Even though on the outside they may not be too expressive in generally, uh, there is a lot of wisdom deep down, and there is a lot of secrets as well, and the mysteries and things which are not said.
Yeah,
Scorpio goes deep. It's the very transformative energy. There is an archetype, the whole archetype of a Scorpio itself, as well. And it's all about transformation and renewal. And we talked about transformation a lot, especially recently, and then about the energy of renewal. So it all blends into beautiful, into the time we are right now with this full moon in Scorpio,
yeah,
which may be transformative and which may renew some things, certain relationships or certain emotion. During this time you can rekindle with your own passion or have the need to find a new passion, something to put your hands on and do. You may find yourself more active than usual as well.
yeah,
It's all those emotions and it's all those deep desires coming up to the surface to be seen.
yeah. And so the moon in Scorpio actually is the opposite of the solar phase we entered yesterday. We're in Taurus now, a month 4 and 5, and Scorpio, of course, being 6 months further, half a year further, month 10 and 11 in solar. So now it's reversed. We're
Mhm.
in Taurus in solar, Earth, uh, Bull's energy, Taurus energy, Earthy energy, Hierophants, uh, and we're in this in the lunar phase, in the dark phase. We're in definitely in waters and in renewal, rebirth. Of course, Scorpio is related also uh, to Halloween, to Samhain, which falls in the first week of uh, of the solar time Scorpio, and of course we see that Scorpio back in the Death card in the tarot, which is related to Scorpio. You're a very colorful Death card. You can see the Grim Reaper uh, stirring up stirring up the new life that he took, and the Scorpio and the bubbles pushing up renewal, new life. The Scorpio is down here where my finger is in the card, as you can see.
Mm,
As you can
yeah,
see, and yeah, very interesting energy and a very watery energy. Shall I bring the rest of the cards that are related to Scorpio on?
yeah, please do.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of them. And one, two, three, four, five, six of them, they're all in cups, so they're all represented in the element of water. So we have Scorpio in Mars in the Five of Cups, where which represents, of course, the Five of Cups represents the parts we can see, and of course the parts where we cannot see into the cups, whether they're full of empty, and so there's a bit of a mystery there as well. And the Five of Cups is a card. It's called the Lord of Disappointment in the Golden Dawn words, and there you see that you shouldn't be disappointed before you've seen everything. If you see the three cups empty, you don't you never know what's going to be in the other two. And then we get to the Six of Cups, and that's the card, the Lord of Pleasure. So there's an energy coming forward from the five into the six, where we now get clarity on our path, and where the things are falling together, and and where we get many choices to enjoy our lives, many choices to enjoy our lives, turning into sometimes too many choices. And when we get to the Seven of Cups, and there we have the debauchery. So there's the chance of overdoing the things, workaholism, alcoholism, substance abuse, all the cards, all the elements of that type of debauchery come to life in the Seven of Cups. The Prince and the Princess of Cups, and the Ace, um, very young energy. So there is the thing that comes after death. We get the rebirth in the Ace of Cups, and youthfulness, youthful energy in the Prince of Cups, who journeys over water, and the Princess of Cups, of course, who is the princess, the princess of not taking responsibility, the princess of carefreeness, and the princess of joy and happiness. So there's um, a lot of emotions, a lot of threats, a lot of good things, and a lot of other things related to water. The positive emotions, the negativity that sometimes comes with emotions, uh, the youthfulness, yeah, of rebirth. So
Mm.
death and rebirth from the tarot cards.
Cool. And Journey Itaki says, nice cards. Hello, Journey.
Hello.
Mm, absolutely. I love the energy of Scorpio. Perhaps because I have a Mars in Scorpio, uh, I am very familiar with the energy it brings. Not mention that most of my really good friends are Scorpios. So I resonate and I understand this energy because I'm into deep things, and so are the Scorpios. Thank you for sharing. That was very interesting with going through all the cards and bringing that energy into a perspective of a Scorpio itself. I think that was very interesting. Um, Especially that this full moon can highlight the need of going deeper and exploring the hidden truths, maybe things which are not something you would consider in the first place. You may find yourself more interest in tarot or divination tools, something which require you to tap into your intuition. And actually, from the last, I already said that I love to observe how the energy unfolds around me. And few of my friends are asking me questions which I wouldn't think they will ask me. They ask me about the Reiki energy. They ask me about the energy of healing. And those are not people who are into that type of modalities. So it's great to see how it's unfolding, that mystery is being brought up to the surface and it wants to be revealed. um, so if you feel like you want to connect with your intuition, or you want to find a tool which will help you to connect with your intuition, that's the energy of Scorpio working as well. um, and the next aspect is the heightened sensuality and the need for intimacy, the need for connection, the need for sensual and passionate connection as well. It may be highlighted during this particular time. Also, the need to um, bring things from almost dead, perhaps passions we have forgotten about, or connections. Like I myself had a need to rekindle with some people who weren't in my life as actively, and around this time the need was very strong, and in some cases it's still very strong to reconnect, is that those emotions come up to the surface. And it's amazing to witness when you know what's going on in the sky, how to witness and how it unfolds in the private life as well, because then you can have more understanding of the process we're going through.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting you mentioned that because I was contacted by a friend who I hadn't heard from in years this weekend, just this weekend. And I thought, why does he contact me now? Well, that's actually the renewal of Scorpio energy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
Some astrologers will say that right now it's that final push after the first season of eclipse, which was the energy which was stirring things around, like you said on the cards, that trickster. I'm not sure the word you
The
used.
Grim Reaper.
Yes, the Grim Reaper is steering things up. And that's
Yeah,
exactly what's happening right now. In order to move, to create a new space and bring new things to life or renew certain energies which were deeply hidden.
yeah, yeah. So, and that's very interesting when you mention that because the new bringing new things to life is of course something we do when the veils are thin, and of course next week Wednesday we'll celebrate La Bieltana, and just as at Samhain, at Halloween, the veils between this world and the other world are thin, so we see the same thing happening, that the spirits are amongst us, and
Mm.
this time in a different manner than in the dark half of the year. In the dark half of the year, they ask us to go within and to lay everything to rest, like the land, and to rest ourselves, to retain our energy. Now, with Bealtaina coming, the energy of Scorpio is telling us to go out and to make fun, make love, make babies, everything, everything. And we'll touch on that subject next week in our special Bieltana episode. That's already a small reveal I'm doing here. Next week will all be about the energy of Bieltana, all be
Mm.
about the energy of love making, merry making, maypole dancing. Uh, yeah, power.
See, Luna is looking forward to that one already.
Yeah.
I love the energy of Belton and the
Um,
dancing, jumping through the fire. Oh my goodness, you can see I already perked up just by
yeah,
thinking about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But before that, let's survive the intense energy of the Scorpio
Yeah,
full
yeah.
moon.
The energy of emotions, and the energy of the secretive, hidden aspects that are waiting to be revealed.
Mhm.
The tapping deep into our intuition to find things and to embrace serendipity, things coming our way. Um, what happened to me Friday and Saturday was special there as well, actually, and it was a part of this new energy coming. I had watched a documentary about Carlos Castaneda, a shaman sorcerer from South America, on Friday night, and Saturday I was to go to the book fair in Cork City, and I hoped there would be an antiquarian there with the book with a book of his. And then I came to the show, and there was all just ram's cells. There were cheap books, leftovers from publishers, the last boxes of the novel of 12 years ago were sold there, but not really old or interesting books. So we said, okay, we're not too far from city center, let's walk to the proper antiquarian in Cork. And I've and I just stumbled in, and the first book of Castadena, the guy who I watched the documentary the night before was on the bargain table for €5 there. I thought, how can it be? I said, let's stretch it a bit further. I was doing a bit about Neoplatonism the last weeks, reading a book from Robert M. Place about the topic, and he said, read Plato's Republic. So I said, well, maybe Plato's Republic is here as well. And I looked in the philosophy department, and boom, there it was. And also for a super bargain price, like €5 or something. So for €10, I had two wonderful books I dreamt of, and they're both old books, which are not necessarily in print and easy obtainable. And boom, there I had them.
Wow,
Scorpio
that's what I call the power of manifestation. And
manifestation.
Scorpio
Yeah,
being great mystics, they are very good in manifesting as well. And that's that Scorpion energy as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
What Scorpio is also famous for is that energy of the end of the tail and what it does, which may appear in communication right now between people. Having the shadows on Mercury retrograde, where communication may be challenged, on when we combine this with emotional response and the remote emotional
Yeah.
turmoil, I would take few deep breaths before going into a conversations with anyone, especially tomorrow on Tuesday, where Tuesday is a day of which the patron is Mars as well. So we have that super strong correlation between the Mars, the energy of the warrior, the aggression sometimes. So I would be very careful, and if the full moon tends to happen around Tuesday, I always hide, I avoid people, I avoid driving because it just highlights the energy even more. And those things are very unnecessary, uh, because the conflicts could be avoided if people would just control their emotions a little bit more and wouldn't let the emotions drive them. uh, but of course, the energy of full moon, there is a reason some people are called lunatics. It stirs the things up to the surface. So you may observe that even yourself uh, can become a little bit more stingy for the next couple of hours, and the urge of saying things we really think and wouldn't put a filter on and would just say things the way they are. This can also be very strong.
Yeah. And would that be related to the dark side of the astrological sign of Scorpio?
Oh, absolutely.
The stingy part? Because I have some experiences where uh, we're discussing things with Scorpio, and the conversation seems to go quite nicely. And all at once, the tables are turned or the tables are thrown over. What are you saying? And sometimes you even feel like the Scorpio draws you in to a discussion, and then you, yes, yeah, you go with it, and then bam, Choo! Then you get hit by the tail, and you're dead. You could be just as well be dead. Yeah.
Yes, it may be the case. However, it happens only when the Scorpio feels endangered, when
Oh
the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Scorpio feels pushed, because that's the defense mechanism and protective
yeah,
mechanism. But
yeah.
yeah, it's interesting to observe those situations. Like I have Scorpio friends, as I said, and I love them deeply. However, if the discussion gets a little bit more passionate, both sides, Gemini and the Scorpio, we really need to pay attention to what are the reactions and rather aim to respond rather than react. It may become an interesting discussion for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, my father was a Scorpio, so then
Mm.
that led to interesting viewpoints occasionally.
Scorpios are also about the sensual stuff. It's not about also the passion, but also the experiencing with all the senses. So for the next couple of hours, you may find yourself seeking more sensuality in your life, seeking
Physical.
more touch, being more physical, and physical pleasures as well, things which makes you feel good, things which are good, especially in touching as well. So this might also be highlighted right now.
Yeah. Well, well, Gemini's like touch as well, don't you think?
Let's not go there.
The two Gemini's in screen.
Yeah. Um, Last but not least, Scorpios sometimes have tendencies to overpower, to dominate,
Yeah.
to pursue in a
Hmm.
very strong, sometimes even emotionally driven way. And this time may also work like this. We may find ourselves being more driven. Now it's the time to finally do that thing you've been thinking about for so long. Maybe there was something on your mind. I don't know, learning how to play guitar. Right now, it's the time to just take physical action and do it and use that energy of persuasion and use that sometimes almost to controlling energy that yes, I am in control of my time, I am in control of my actions, I am in control of what I'm doing, and if I set a goal, I am in control of making sure that I will take action and things will happen. So now it's great time to start, as Jan said before, because right now the energy is rising up to the surface and things will go quicker and faster, especially in the time between now and the Beltane, where the energy is just uh, speeding up.
Yeah. And then, yeah, the energy is speeding up. And what do we do to express this energy? So um, right now we are feeling our emotional selves. We're looking inward. We're looking at our shadow selves. We're looking at the parts of
Mm,
ourselves that remain hidden for no reason. Occasionally, why do we hide? Uh, why do we hide ourselves in the shadow? Why don't we express ourselves while we're honest and want to be honest and want to be open? Why do we connect to the other world? Why do we connect to the world of the dead? Um, that's of course because when we connect to spirit, we connect to the higher self. So we connect to the part of ourselves where we were before we were placed on this earth. We're
mm,
placed in these bodies, and that's that's a special thing of life. That's a special thing of death as well, because when you die, where are you going? I always say, you go home. You go
mm,
home once where you came from. And so home is the place where you were before you landed on earth. And is there an element of yourself staying behind? Of course, that's the observer.
mm.
The higher self is looking down at you, Luna. That's your higher self. My higher self is looking down at me, and sometimes he sits there, or she, or they sit there in at home, looking at me and say, okay, it's bring in the coke and the popcorn. Janet's in trouble again.
Yeah,
Luna is in trouble again.
that's gonna be an interesting episode. Let's see
Yeah, and they
how
say,
this
okay,
time they
okay,
will deal with the emotional side of it.
yeah, yeah, and that's the part where the higher self, of course, enjoys, that the higher self enjoys the most, because the higher self knows the outcome. The
Mm,
outcome, it will all be good, and if it's not good, it's not the end yet. And in the end, we all go home again.
Mm.
as if nothing has ever happened. And we go home and we bring the lessons of life on earth home, and we tell our higher selves, did we learn enough? And there, when the higher self says, "Ah, we need to go for another round," boom, that's what reincarnation comes from. That's when you get reborn in, sometimes in a totally different life than you were here. It could be that uh, you're a priest here and a and a prostitute in the next life, because you need both experience to become whole,
Yeah,
or a judge and a thief in two different lives. Yeah.
it's so interesting that you brought this up because recently I have been working a lot. I was just drawn to doing some of the work again because I feel that I wasn't ready before to discover some things which I'm discovering right now. And recently I've done few past life regressions to find out an answers to certain questions which I got. And in one of the regressions, and that's something which still blows my mind, um, those who know me know that I'm vegan and I have this share and I share this love to animals. It's so deeply rooted in me. It's one of my first identities I got when I came back to Earth. It was clear to me that I'm here to speak in the name of those who have no voice. And recently I found out why. I was brought back to a life where I wasn't necessarily good to animals. And just by viewing and witnessing those scenes, all of a sudden everything made so much sense to me with why is this so important, because it's my value, it's one of my main values in life, is that the life is equal. And I didn't know why it was within me. I just assumed that that's what it is when you connect with your soul and this universal love of which we are, of energy of God. But then there was always a question why some people eat animals and use them as a product and blah blah, and some people don't. And it was just such an amazing experience to see again how karma works, and how this learning on our own skin, literally, how it works. And it's a beautiful journey to discover about ourselves in and see how far we've come and how we've grown, uh, experiencing a certain way of life we choose to experience, because at the end of the day it's all our choice.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and of course, the experience of the previous lives, like I said, would often be totally different than from this life, because that's normally in life. Well, if when you lead a good life, you can say at the end, okay, that this was a good journey. I learned so much. I reconnected with the higher self. I found the purpose of life. Maybe this is it already. And of course, well, if I look at the mistakes I made in my life, I probably think I might I might come up for a next one to make it better. But maybe this is already the thing, that's where you make the mistakes in a certain life, come over them, learn from them, uh, and try not to make them again.
Well,
Yeah,
karma is instant right now.
yeah,
Sometimes back, especially back where the energy was more dense here and there, we had to wait the entire lifetime to receive and repay the karma. Right now it's different, and of course it depends on the journey we decided to have as humans here. However, yes, it's I am always very cautious of what I give, knowing that it may come back multiplied.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
the law. That's the one of the universal laws, is the
yeah,
law of karma. What you give out, comes back to you and
yeah,
very often multiplied.
yeah. And that's, and like you said, sometimes the karma is instant. So we've been talking the last weeks a lot about patience and temperance, and uh, but geez, life goes fast. The universe. They say the universe is ever expanding, and the universe is expanding faster and faster, and so our lives are faster. Our teachings come faster. We learn quicker. We learn different things. We don't learn things anymore we that previous generations had to learn. Uh, take reading and proper writing. That's it's all changing because
Mm.
there are so many new things coming that are way more important than, for instance, correct spelling, which is something I'm probably one of the last generations that was hammered in to get correct spelling, and nobody bothers anymore.
I'm a millennial here. We're the last generation.
You're the last generation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm a boomer, so
yeah, well, that's what the technology does, and it's aligned with the speeding up of the energy in general. It's a
yeah,
process of awakening. It's a process of completely redirecting humanity, and you will mark my words. Then in the maximum 5 years, if not 2 years, this world will be a completely different place again, just like it was after COVID. uh,
exactly.
Things are shifting in the speed of speed of light right now, with a blink of an eye sometimes, and it's important to catch up, um, and jump on that carpet of change and
Yeah,
new things coming,
yeah,
uh, but also stay grounded within your own self.
yeah, and and there's a funny thing that we have had a time where everything was focusing on the material growth, on material
Mm,
world. Second World War brought, of course, a very big shift, and then the complete industrialization, followed by new technologies. First computers, home computers, computers everywhere, the internet, and this is a shift from where we say this was a time when everything and everybody was merely focusing on the material aspects. While
mm,
before the World War, occultism, alchemy, and stuff were very important. And what I see now happening is uh, now we get to this point where we're not nearly at the end of the technological development, but we're already seeing the raising interest in spirituality, the raising interest, the growing interest in the occult, the growing interest in astrology, alchemy, sorcery, magic, new moon magic, full moon magic, and and all these things that are available to everybody.
mm. And that's why we're here holding this space and creating this channel so we could talk about it and explain. So if you have any question, or if you'd like to share how this full moon is affecting you, please feel free to share it in the comments. We would love to see those. And just like Jan said, I love that the natural things, that being aligned with nature, being alive, aligned with spirit, comes up to the surface again after years of being pushed, after years of being neglected, being seen as almost crazy and against the science. Right now the science is actually proving that, for example, that meditation works, or that journaling is a process where you can boost your creativity on. So all the tools, druids, witches, pagans, and whoever is connected to the realm of spirit is practicing, though everything of that comes back into our everyday life. Yoga, because yoga is not just exercises, or it's not just breathing, it's the meditation if in motion, the process which makes align your body and your soul. And it's great to observe how the light is so needed right now, because it's all
Yeah.
about the light, isn't it?
It's all about awakening,
Yeah.
awakening to your true self, awakening to your purpose, to find that the purpose of life is to live it to the best
Mhm.
of your ability. The purpose is not to live a life completely pre-cooked by society, but just cooking up your own life,
Mhm.
making your own decisions and not making them because of how you were raised or what society demands of you. No, it's finding your own true bliss, finding what matters to you most. What type of person are you? Are you an artist, or are you a leader, or are you even an entrepreneur? the big the big choices you can make in life, and most of us, we're all of them, but something is always the strongest. And whatever choice you make it your own, and make sure that you find what you are made to do, why you are here, that you find the purpose in life, that you know, okay, this is what I'm meant to do right here, right now. It doesn't have to be forever, but right here, right now is good enough to decide.
Yeah. Find your own truth and live it to the fullest. And that's another big lesson of full moon in Scorpio, is to be truthful and to discover what's hidden in our within us, what's been pushed away. Let's bring it up to the light and let's shine there.
Yeah.
And speaking of bringing things into light, I would like to share a ritual which I perform around every full moon, which is in water Scorpio. There is an element of water being involved. I will play the video and I'll probably post this as a separate thing so it would be easier for you to find if you would like to perform the video. I'll do it in a second as well. Um, and before I go there, it's a ritual of releasing and letting go of things, because full moon is a great time to let go of things, to release. However, full moon is also a great time to celebrate abundance and celebrate the goodness, celebrate the life. So after I play the video, I want to talk about another ritual as well, using very similar tools. So let's jump into the video first, and then let's talk about it for just a moment. All right, I'm ready here. So today I want to show you how to use the energy of fire to burn and release everything which is not serving us. The focus of the ritual is to release any negative and unwanted energy or attachments from the past and let go of anything that is no longer serving your highest good. For this ritual you will need a candle and incense. You can also add some cleansing herbs like sage if you like, okay, I stopped it because it should be the different type of, sorry, technical issues when we were doing, when I was checking it before, it worked
No,
perfectly, and I
you
don't know
can't.
why.
Yeah, you can't go vertical during a stream.
Okay, all right. So perhaps I will have to post the video later because you could see only half of it.
Half of it, yeah, I
Hmm,
noticed. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's
It's
interesting and that's
you have
surprising.
to choose
I'm wondering.
beforehand whether you go phone or widescreen, and you can't choose.
Ah, well, every day we learn something new, don't
Yep,
we?
yep, I
Well,
noticed.
anyway, so I'll explain the ritual shortly and
Yeah,
I will
and
post it
and
after
do the
our
video
live.
as a short, or as a separate one. Yeah.
Yes. Well, basically, what I was doing in that video is I was focusing on the things which I want to release. And I'll post the after our live, I post the entire ritual. So don't worry, you won't miss anything. There is a part where I'm putting everything what I want to release on a piece of paper, and then using a glass of water, I set the intention of releasing whatever is on that piece of paper, and I put it into that water, because the water is the carrier of emotions. So whatever you put towards the water, especially holding your hands around the glass of water, those intentions, those emotions will go to the water. Uh, you will see on the video, it's a very simple ritual. And the idea is to take that water with you, with those emotions and those intentions you want to let go of, and just basically spit it out, take it out of your home, water some plants outside, just to get rid of that energy within you. So I encourage you to watch the video, even though I wanted to share it here tonight. It didn't work. The second ritual I wanted to share with you is very similar, and it works with the same principle of having a glass water. Obviously, it has to be a different water than it was in the first ritual, because then the first ritual ends up with removing the water. So new glass of water, new water. And I do it the morning after the full moon, which the energy is still very potent. However, I use this ritual with the moon water. What is moon water? Basically, I pour water into jugs, glasses, whatever I can find in my house, to be honest with you. And when I put everything on the window, I have here loads of windows, and I'm lucky enough that every full moon, the lunar rises just so I could see it. So the entire night I have access to actually lunar light. And what lunar water is basically water kept in a glass jar, glass, whatever, um, exposed to the light of the full moon. It charges the water with the very intense, beautiful energy of light, which the moon reflects, and it makes the water more potent. So what I do in the morning, I take one glass, put my both hands on the glass, ideally close to my heart if it's possible, and I just make a short gratitude prayer and send all these emotions into the glass of water. And I always think of the one thing I'm grateful for. I always think of one, at least one experience I'm grateful for, and a person I'm grateful for. And I always put this energy, this love I have, this appreciation, this gratefulness into that glass of water. And with saying thank you, I just simply drink the entire glass of water. Full moon water will give you boost of energy, will give you kick. So make sure if you're using it for the first time that it won't be the biggest glass of water, because the effect may actually surprise you. But just by drinking this water, which is infused with gratitude, love, appreciation, you will notice how it affects positively your mood. So that's my morning ritual after full moon, to just express for what I'm grateful for all the bounty the full moon has brought into my life, because full moon is the time of manifestation in being brought into life. And that's what I'm really grateful for. So I encourage you to do those rituals. As I said, I will post the video, so it'll be available shortly on the channel. And now I will drink some water.
Yes. So, so the story actually, Luna, is to put down a glass of water tomorrow before dawn, before dusk, and leave it on the whole night and drink it before breakfast.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
No.
ADHD person and the person who translated into a regular language. It always makes me laugh.
Okay. Well, Luna, thanks for sharing the ritual. I have. I'm shuffling.
Mm.
I'm shuffling my tarot cards.
Okay.
So let's do. Let's do a reading for the upcoming full moon.
Mm.
We'll put one here extra. No, I want you up. Here. Boom. There we are. I have the alchemical tarot. I'll do 3 cards expressing what shall we do today? What shall we look for today? Um, yeah, the first card is giving me is a situation, and with in the light of the situation, something to avoid
Mm.
and something to pursue. Woo! Situation. The situation is the one, two, three, four, five, 6 of Cups. Ah, card
Mm.
we had already. This is a Scorpio, Scorpio card. The 6 of Cups. The 6 of Cups is a pleasure. It's in this deck it represents a good a good setup for the harvest. So it's a very nice card for the energy that's coming. We're filling all our jars for the ritual tomorrow night.
Mm.
We're filling all our jars for the ritual tomorrow night, and yeah, we're it's a happy card. It's a happy situation where we're full of promise for the future. Something to do. Enjoy the sun. Uh,
I can see
yeah,
that they're enjoying not just the sun.
they're enjoying the sun. This is the Bieltana energy. So yes, lads, whenever you can, enjoy the physicality, enjoy the male and the female together, enjoy the pleasure of being together, enjoy the moon and the sun, because the moon is out there anyway. And it's a card. It's a card that says we went through the winter, and it was a cold one in Ireland, and it was wet and it was rainy, and just the last 2 days, wow, summer exploded. The sun is here now, so enjoy the sun, enjoy it with your loved ones, enjoy, um, yeah, even if it's just self love, and uh, make the best of it, because there's loads of opportunities to celebrate. Avoid, yeah. So step out of the quiet. Avoid the quietness after the full moon. So when we're in the two of swords is actually a card of going within, of internalizing stuff. uh, I would say after the moon, boom, there you go. Nothing quiet. We're not crossing swords. No, we're making love. That's what we do.
Yeah, good vibes.
Good vibes, good vibrations, my dear.
Yes.
Yeah. So a very lovely reading. Asking you really to step out of your comfort zone, especially in the week that comes. Make sure you're part of the celebration and
Mm.
don't sit still.
Thank you very much for this reading. That actually resonates a lot, especially with the sun card and me
Yeah.
enjoying the sun. You can't see, but I burned my cheeks a
Yes.
little bit out in the sun, which I'm absolutely very happy because we've been waiting for days like this for a long time
Long,
with
long time. Yeah.
intense energy. And I did mention earlier before, on top of all the season of eclipse, which is luckily after us, but with the Mercury retrograde being in the shadow period and this full moon. Uh, on top of that, like it wouldn't be intense enough. There are very intense solar flashes right now. It's the energy of solar flashes being directed to the earth. So uh, it may be a lot of bring a lot of epiphanies, but technical issues as well, which we could witness here today.
Yeah.
I was saying the video before it was working perfectly, but for some reason right now it was showing only the half of it. So I'm not surprised to see it at all. Um, as an addition to your wonderful reading, I want you guys to think of a number from 1 to 3. So you have 1, 2, or 3 to choose from. And I'll start with number one. One. Beautiful, beautiful card here. Number 12. I will say the number because they may be significant to some of you. Replacing what was lost. You now have the opportunity to rejuvenate and start anew. This is card number 1. Create with a new perspective or outlook. Sorry. This card may also indicate abundance is on the horizon. Beautiful, beautiful card. Pink color. Pink starfish. So the element of 5 and the change comes through in this reading as well. And affirmation for you will be I surrender to the river of love. That's the affirmation in the card for number 1. Number 2, if you picked card number 2, it's the number 18, clearing the excess. Let me read. You are entering a transitional phase and would benefit from clearing away excess clutter, whatever it's in your physical body or your physical space. And we talked about it today, that things may just come to the surface in order to be clear out. And the affirmation for you would be through the storm, my inner sea is calm. Inner sea, emotions, rumbling through the storm. My inner sea is calm. And finally, last but not least, card number 3. Beautiful, beautiful card about taking a different perspective. Number 6, looking at the underbelly. Be sure that you are using your time in the best possible manner. You might consider taking time to organize yourself, or perhaps a project you're working on could use some fine tuning. Very interesting. I'll show you the image again. So use your time wisely. And the affirmation for this card is my eternal flame glows brightly, glows as glowing, not grows. However, the growing might be here used as well. So that's something extra on top of the tarot reading. And
Mm.
Julie says, that's a lovely ritual. Thanks, Luna. Thanks for sharing and great reading. Lovely to have
Yeah.
you here with us, Julie. Hi.
Yeah.
And
And
hi, and actually almost like a bye.
I had your third card, which was actually number 6, and of course, number
Mm,
6 in the tarot is the lovers. And we
Gemini.
didn't have card number 6. We had card number 19 there, but also showing a pair of lovers, as you can see.
Mm,
And of course, in the tree of life, the Kabbalistic tree of life, number 6 is Tiferet. It's the middle, and actually represents the sun.
wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
I love
So
when we do those mixed readings, how things just
fall into place.
yes, it falls into place and one thing leads to another.
And the
And
six of,
I
and the
was
six of cups
using,
was here.
oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Awesome.
a lot of
I
six
was
energy,
using
six energy here.
I was using decks connected with water, the
Oh,
Whisper of the Ocean and the Water Temple Oracle. And just for those who would be wondering what cards I brought today, um, element of water. That's all what we're here today about.
yep. Element of water. Card number 12, the Hangman, and you had a number 12 as well in your reading.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Oh my goodness, it just goes deeper and deeper, which uh, it's a beautiful representation of the energy of Scorpio and the deepest energies it brings to the surface. All right, it was such a pleasure to be here with you guys today and share my rituals and my and our way of looking. Um, Lovely t-shirts, you too. I like the vibrant background of the Lima. I'm not sure
Yeah.
what Lima is, but
Okay, lads. Thanks so much for
thank
watching.
you so much for your lovely comments. We wish you so much love and so much light, especially around this challenging time, because full
Um,
moon can be a really difficult
a,
time,
bl-
bringing
a
a lot of
blessed,
things
yeah,
out.
a blessed full moon to all of you, and see you back later in the week or next Monday on our live show. Bye all.
Take care.
Bye.